I really just wanted to just show those who showed up here an amazing resource online. So I'm going to share my screen if you don't mind.
Okay.
Um, you with us, Maris?
I'm with you. I'm just taking it all in. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a statutory office mandated by the Right to Know law, Pennsylvania, in 2008. So this is a statutory office. So this is government actually really working on our behalf. This Office of Open Records, they handle issues of public records as well as the Sunshine Act. And I wanted to show you that if you can see up here at the top, they have a section here on Right to Know law and a section on the Sunshine Act. I'm going to go here. And this is so important. So I'm at the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act frequently asked question page. And this is pretty much everything you need to know about these meetings, these council meetings, right? In terms of how open to the public should they be, the agenda, requirements for reporting, how business should be handled, whether citizens have a right to speak at the meeting, how that should be handled. This thing that's called a quorum at a public meeting. So they use this term called agency, a public agency, and that's just a fancy way of saying like a school board or a municipal council or a township supervisors meeting. Anything that is a governmental agency that must be open to the public, right? That's subject to the Sunshine Law. It's really, really important. The council actually violated the Sunshine Law a few times at the meeting on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I missed this.
So I don't know, what do you do with that information, right?
Yeah.
But it really all starts with information, knowing what the law is, and so forth. So I'm not going to just cover everything here, but the point of tonight's little workshop was just to say, hey, here's this thing called Office of Open Records. It's on. You could Google it. It's there. It's got this amazing, frequently asked questions section that really gives you the lowdown. Let me just give you an example. All agencies across the state, as of August 2021, are required, according to the Sunshine Law Amendment, to publish an agenda of business at least 24 hours prior to the meeting. So any business like, hey, we need new tires for the truck and we need $3,100 for these new tires, that needs to be on the agenda, or it cannot be discussed at the meeting.
I was going to say, is that for like a council meeting?
Yeah, council meeting, right? So this, so any this applies to a school board or a township. In this case, we're talking about our council meetings, right? So they have to create an agenda. It has to be posted 24 hours in advance. Pat will usually create the agenda. She will send it to me. I will post it. And if there are any amendments to that, we have to make an amendment and repost it. And it has to be noted that it was an amendment that was within the 24 hours of the meeting. And the law says here, it's really complicated, but the law kind of just says, you can't conduct business unless the public knows about it by way of your agenda. If you do, you have to at least vote on it to add it to the agenda at the meeting. Takes a majority of vote, right, to add it to the meeting, and you can do your business. And that has to be noted in the minutes of the meeting that item was added to the agenda, at the meeting. So the public is not in the dark about any last minute deals, any stuff. So they have to be aware of this. And actually, that if there's an amendment to the agenda within 24 hours, you can make that change, but any business can't be about money and it can't be about contracts. They call that de minimis in legal terms. But anyways, that's the kind of stuff you can find on this Sunshine Act Q&A about the agenda, what should be on it. And you can also find things about, who can ask questions, how that procedure should be at the meeting. What's a good recommended time limit? Now, Mary got kicked out of a council meeting, right? Did you, Mary?
Oh,
Mary,
yeah.
you did.
I did.
Cheswick Borough.
Yeah. So citizens have an obligation as well, to behave, I guess. You say, yeah.
Well, I was
So
calling him out, and he didn't like it because I was from Harmer Township. I was at a Cheswick Borough meeting, and I had the right to be there.
well,
And
you know
he
what?
was like,
Actually,
"You out."
the sunshine law here says that they actually can block you if you're not a resident or a taxpayer. They can block you.
Well,
but,
didn't you tell me that I had the right to go?
well, you have a right to go. Yeah, but
I thought that's what you said. Go.
For speaking, that it can be just a little bit different thing. But so a lot of this stuff, there are gray areas, right, in this. And so that we have to be mindful of it. And so this Office of Open Records, and I'm gonna post a link and everything to the site, and I'll do a little write up about this.
Well, I think in my case though, Kevin Skadell was mad at me because I put it in the paper.
Well, yeah, right. So that's just human nature. People can be upset.
Yeah.
And, but everyone has a right by law, and if you know the law, then you know that you can't be pushed around, or that your rights are being violated by the law. So that's really the point of this Open Records Office workshop, is to say there's this office out there. You can Google it, you can find it, and you can read all this stuff that pertains to every single one of our council meetings, and your jaw will drop really when you go, oh, we're not doing that. Oh, yeah, they should be doing that. Yeah. Oh, it would be great if they did that, but they're not. Why aren't they doing that? Right. So that's the thing. And I always like to, whenever I bring an argument to somebody, bring issues, I always like to, what they call, bring receipts, right? I bring the paperwork. I bring the documentation.
Right. Yeah, you have it there to cover you.
Exactly. Yeah. That way, we should all be arguing off the same page. And it's okay to argue, but let's argue off the same page. Right.
Right.
So, Linda, does that make? Have you been to the Office of Open Records online?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, I would really.
I will certainly check it out now. I'll be looking at it.
Check it out.
I'm going to print it out if I can.
All that stuff is there, and it's nice little bite-sized pieces under the Sunshine Law Act. The frequently asked questions. They're tabs, right? And they're just very nice, short discussions or explanations of all these various things. And I think every citizen should understand it, because this is really civics 101. Now, on the right to know portion of all that has to deal with public records, so anyone has a right to record those meetings. You don't need permission. You can go in and you can just record.
Record on your phone?
Yeah, on your phone or any
other
device.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can do that. Now, there are certain protocols, and it's just kind of considerations that are there. But in the right to know law, it actually talks about that. I mean, on that site, it talks about recording. So the minutes that are taken at the meetings, those become, once they are approved by council at the next month, they actually become public record. Do that. But
I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to go back and look at June's, and I'll look at this current one that just happened. If it's out there yet, I'll look.
Yeah, well, it won't be out there until next week. So they're always a month behind. Now, the reason for that is, and this is actually a right to know law issue. When Pat takes the minutes, that document is just a draft, right? It's not a public document. So if you were to say, I'm going to file a right to know request for this July meeting, Pat would say, no, there is no public document. I have my notes, right? The minute council says, yes, we approve those, and they are now minutes, then they become official public documents, and then you have a right to access them, right? And there's a reason for that, because sometimes, they're still, Pat's like, hey, I forgot what you said. Can you tell me? I'll fix them.
It's understandable.
Yeah, it is understandable, right? Yeah. But there is a reason why there is a 1 month lag to that, right? So yeah. So those public documents are really our friends, and it's a great tool for citizens to have. That website, Office of Open Records, really actually started really about public records. And it's the only agency that actually can take up a public records cause for you. In other words, if you request public records and you're denied, that's the agency that will go to court for you, right? Yeah. So they're our friend in that regard. And then they also do a lot of work sharing information about the Sunshine Law, right? Which is all has everything also to do with public records, like the agenda, right? It's a public record. So we're about out of time here. Thank you, Linda and Mary, for showing up.
I wish more people would show up. I mean, it's been very informative, so hopefully next time. How often are you going to do this?
Well, I have a schedule. On the Concerned Citizens thing. I'm trying to do like maybe every 2 weeks
Okay.
I think I have maybe 3 or 4 topics. I think maybe 3.
Hey, as long as everybody knows how easy it was to get on. Yeah. I mean, I saved your message and it just said join the meeting and it took me to the link. I clicked on it, put my name in, and I was there.
Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.